It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward. We are having a fantastic day today.
We always do.
And yes, we always do. I know you definitely do.
I do. Continue.
But we're having a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going into some discussions with the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, and we're looking forward to...
What happened for tuning into the best talk show? How did you run right into the whole context of the show?
No, I was getting to something. If you would just allow.
Okay.
If you would just allow.
Continue. Go ahead.
This woman is a lot, guys. But anyways, we are going to be talking with the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce today. It's a lot of things happening right here within the city of Freeport. Of course, they always have their hands on the pulse, and we want to know what's going on from their perspective. And of course, I'm Glendina Sweeting, Manager of Quality Assurance at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and I am joined by my co-host, Alex Thompson, with many titles, Downtown Freeport Business Association, Public Affairs Director, and also at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. Remind me, because I don't want to get it wrong. Give me the full title, please.
It's the first-year director.
First-year Director, Alex Thompson. So you're sitting on the wrong side of the table. You need to go over there.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm fashionista today, see?
Yes.
I'm still
and
feeling
the colors
fashion
are
week.
very beautiful, and we're getting ready to come into the Easter holiday, and so that's quite nice. Did you purchase this locally by a local shop at home?
Always. This was purchased from Nat's Closet when she was downtown in the Region Center, because we support local.
Yes.
We shop at home. We spend our money downtown and other places in the city of Freeport. Downtown
Right.
Freeport Business Association, just showing that out there to all the women that build downtown.
Yes.
Female entrepreneurs, girl power, whoa.
Okay. She always comes with the energy, guys. I just want to get into some of this discussion today. Of course, we are so delighted to be talking about progress and partnerships and people that are shaping the future of Grand Bahama Island. And you can't do that unless you're talking with the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. And so I understand that there were some elections held very recently.
Yes.
And there's a new slate of persons that are going to be serving the business community.
Yes.
And I think that's wonderful, because we want to know a little bit more about what they have in mind, what's going to be going on, where's the focus, and what can people look forward to, particularly the SMEs, because that's who they support.
So it sounds like you need to talk to me.
Yes, and everybody else on the table.
Oh, okay, then we'll let them talk a little bit first. Then you come to me.
Yes. We'll come round to Alex eventually. All right. So it is certainly a pleasure to welcome to Focus Forward today Mr. Ralph Hepburn. He's the newly elected president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. And also to welcome back Ms. Donna Lang Jones, who is the first vice president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's so good. Now, I don't think we preempted this when we had you, Ms. Lang Jones, on the show. Was that earlier? That was earlier this year. We were at Pelican Bay for an event.
The Economic Summit.
Yes, the Economic Summit, and that was put on by the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. Yes.
Say it
and
again.
so from
It
then
was put on by
until
who?
the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce.
I just wanted to hear it one more time so they know who put that event on. So thank you. You know, I think Felix Poe was instrumental in getting that on. But we also wanted to just give kudos to Ms. Donna Lang Jones, because she's coming off a weekend of celebrating 10 years and having their home fair.
Yes.
You know, so congratulations.
Yes, so many people were there.
Yes.
I could not find a parking space. So kudos to you for having a wonderful event that would have impacted the community. Everybody
Definitely.
needs help, and I'm sure there were some persons that actually could have gone over the finish line on Saturday
Definitely.
with your help. So that's some good stuff.
Female owned and operated real estate company
Yes.
in Grand Bahama.
Definitely.
We should go on to context.
We let's go to this context. let's go into the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce now. Mr. Hepburn, first of all, allow me to extend congratulations to you on your new appointment. And of course, as president now, you are in a very critical role here within the city of Freeport across the island of Grand Bahama. So tell us a little bit about your vision. From your perspective as president, what is your vision for the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce?
Good day. With the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, one thing I feel that we need to focus on this year is basically the connecting of our businesses with our community and everyone from the top to the bottom. When I say top to the bottom, we have regulators, we have employers and business owners, we have employees, and we have consumers. Then we need to have that connection where they all can understand where everyone fit within the business community and commerce on the whole. One of the things we want to drive home this year is basically in collaboration with our theme is to connect, support, and to grow Grand Bahama. And this is going to happen when we are powered by our community and we're driven by our business. And like our first year director said, basically we are going to focus on supporting local, because that's what's going to help us build this economy, support our local businesses and work on activities, events that care to help growing everyone to have a better understanding of business and commerce in general.
So you said supporting the local business. That was going to be one of my questions. Like, what does that support looks like for you, for small businesses, so that we're able to say, to these small businesses, what can the chamber do for me? So what does that look like? What does that support look like coming from the chamber?
From the chamber's point of view, support is not only the purchasing power, but the ability to work with the various government agencies and international trade groups so we can create buying power, where the various entities can basically get together and buy in bulk, which will reduce their cost of purchasing and then be able to import through the incentives offered by customs, as was explained last year when we did our membership month. There are certain incentives that customs give to small businesses to help them grow and develop their business, helping them to understand and where they don't necessarily have to compete against one another for the same market share, but they can collaborate and complement one another on the products and offerings they have.
So I just want to jump over, and I want this to be really a round table, particularly because Alex is also a part of the chamber, right? So I'm going to take the questions, right? But but I just want to come over to start just a little bit to pull in Ms. Lang-Jones. When we talk about, well, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
On that first vice presidency. But when we talk about some of the initiatives that you want to be able to bring on board to support these businesses in that way, what would some of those key initiatives look like coming into, right now we're in second quarter of this year. So how do some of those initiatives look in terms of getting started, hitting the ground? Everyone is hearing now that there's this new board, there's a new president, we have new vice presidents. When are you going to hit the ground to get things going? What does that look like?
So first of all, we'll have an installation. We're not going to have a banquet this year. We're going to have an installation cocktail reception. So we want to have, it's basically a high-end meet and greet where all of the members get to meet the executives and just to talk just in a relaxed atmosphere, talk about the opportunities that the chamber has to offer. The Small Business the Business Development Committee, they're going to have networking events. They're going to be having opportunities for you to get funding that's available. You have the ease of doing business, and they're all ready to meet with the membership to educate the membership, like we want to have educate them on the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. There's so much going on in the community right now. We also want to speak, there's talks about the power company, the government taking over the power company, so we want to bring the powers to be to come in and speak to the members, educate the members on what these things what these opportunities look like. So basically, then you have the Economics Development Committee. They're going to be putting on events. They're going to be educating. So it's educating our people, networking with our people, and just letting them know of the opportunities that's going to be available to each and every member.
Now, I know that some of the businesses, and we have several thousand, right, just within the city of Freeport alone. And a lot of the new businesses typically don't get involved. And I can say that from different levels. They typically don't get involved with some of the organizations. They're just so focused on their business, what they have to do. They do it, they get it done, and then they decide to, go home and use whatever they've earned for their family. That's their focus. How does the chamber how do you reach out to those folks to be able to bring them in? They are a critical part of this economy. They probably do have something that they can bring to the chamber to be able to share some talent, some gifts, something. How do you reach them? And particularly the younger business owners, these new entrepreneurs that have a different way of thinking and a different way of operating. How do you reach them?
So basically we'll talk about the young healed guy that divides on the weekend. He's 20 something maybe. He's a person that I reached out to, and I just exposed him to some of the opportunities that's available out there. On Saturday at our home fair, there were some young people out there, and I said, you need to join the chamber. It's $125 per year. You get to meet people at chamber that you would normally not meet elsewhere. And then we can introduce you to people, introduce you to opportunities. The Small Business Development Center has funding that's available. There's grants that's available. The government has grants available. We can introduce them to the banks, opportunities for the bank, references to the banks, and basically bringing in the persons that we bring in as guest speakers. The opportunities is just there and wide, like the Economic Summit. When you go to those events, you meet people in the room that you would never meet on a regular basis. So it's just the opportunity to meet and connect. And that's the one thing that we offer to that small business owner.
I hear it come across as just the access.
Yes.
Chamber gives you access. What do you always say? Membership have its privileges. And I think that's what we're hearing and how we need to encourage small business owners to be a part of this family.
Absolutely.
Because we've already made the relationships. We already have the cards to get in where we need to go. And if you're a part of our family, it's just like when you have children. Tell them, like you
show them the ropes.
Tell them, hey, listen, go here. Tell them Glendea is your mommy and I sent you. And because they have a relationship with Glendea, they're like, okay, Lamage.
Only in the Bahamas.
No problem. No, but that's what the chamber does. It gives us access. Because exactly, in the room at the Economic Summit, you're sitting there and you're thinking, you would sometimes have to wait weeks, months to get an appointment with someone. And if anything else comes up for these persons, they will set you aside. Not as if they don't want to entertain you, but sometimes there are other pressing matters that need their immediate concern. So I think that's one of the big things that we want to stress.
So the chamber is a business family then?
It is a business family.
It's
commerce family. I like that.
So tell us a little bit, if we could just shift gears a little bit, because I don't think people always understand some of the struggles that even the chamber goes through trying to be able to support SMEs. And so over the years, what are some of the challenges you guys may have faced in terms of operation, bringing these businesses together, and how have you overcome them? Because obviously now you have a successful chamber that's operating, you have some very strategic persons in key positions to be able to support SMEs. Tell us about some of the challenges and how did you overcome?
I think one of the things we've always had is the value proposition in terms of having business owners understand the value of the chamber. And now we've been able to get inroads to the various businesses so they know that being a part of us gives them the networking opportunities, give them access where we can reach out to government, to the port, and to other businesses internationally and locally on their behalf. We can bring them together and have them be able to display what they have with other businesses and talk to us through our various luncheons so they can share what they have. One of the things we also try to get across is that we're the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. East End.
Not just Freeport.
I'm from Holmes Rock and she's from Pelican Point.
Pelican Point, right.
We're the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And basically no matter what industry you're in, once you're a legally operating business, there's value to being a part of us where we can help you with mentorship, helping you put together proper business plans and feasibility studies, helping you make the right contacts and connect to the right persons to make sure that your business grow in the direction it should. And that way you can stay sustainable in everything, and then we can live up to our mandate of sustaining business.
Now, I heard something really important there. And I don't think people always appreciate this until they get into a position where they go to a bank or they're looking for funding, and then they're asked to provide a business plan, and they're asked to explain their business. And we have a lot of businesses that know how to do their business well.
Right.
And when you tell them to put it on paper, that's where the difficulty comes. So I'm hearing that from a very practical perspective, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce would do things to be able to support those kinds of people, help them with feasibility studies, which is very important. Because if you don't really understand the landscape of Freeport, which is very, very different from everywhere else in the Bahamas, you may have some challenges.
Yes.
But it's good to have a team like that that can be able to give you, a little bit of heads up. This is how we do it. This is what happens here. This is how you create the business plan, etc. So let's talk a little bit about training and seminars. What are some of those things that you would have done in the past, and what can persons look forward to over this next year in terms of training, preparation, exposure?
Okay.
So one seminar we had last year, we had Ty Wells come in and speak on AI. Everyone is into the AI, and that was very well attended last year. And so we basically want to do more things like that. And then again, when we brought in customs, the VAT department and all of those, they have a lot of training that's available, the National Training Agency. And it's just like a lot of people are just not educated. They're not aware of what's available and what is free for the business community.
Attention when I say the word free.
Yes.
How do you identify what's needed for the business community? For example, I'm in my business, I'm hearing the chamber is operating, I hear Invest Grand Bahama is doing some things, and every now and again I can go to Pelican Bay because they have a session. How do you typically select a particular topic or program and say, this is what's needed in the community and that's why? How do you do that? How do you make sure that it's relevant for what's happening right now?
So right now we're working on a membership survey where we'll send out a survey to all of our members asking them what are the issues and concerns or challenges for their business, and then also the challenges facing the Grand Bahama economy. And based on that, we can decide on which events to put on first, which training to put on first, which seminar to put on first. So basically we reach out to the membership to find out what their needs are, and we go from there.
And I think that's really important.
On top of that, with the national issues that are happening, we stay on top of those to see how they would affect us locally, and see whether it's worth getting any further involved in any further discussions with it and things like that. Because we want to also make sure, because our programs extend even into the high school. We also go into the high school with our training programs through the EDC. Economic Development Committee. So things that are pertinent to business development, anything that's coming on in the marketplace, things that are legislatively, marketing-wise, products, all those things, we try to stay on top of those stuff and make sure that we always in the know. That is, the Grand Bahama community is always in the know what's to expect and what's happening out there.
So you'd have, as Glenda spoke of, these small businesses, I mean really entrepreneurs, single operation entrepreneur. And the image of the chamber is always they're working for big business. What's one bit of advice you would give to these small entrepreneurs who are thinking, you're not going to work for me? I maybe established a babysitting business or a pet grooming business. It's just me. You know, what benefit is the chamber for me because my business is so small?
The benefit, okay, first of all, with the young entrepreneurs, we have something in our small business development committee called the Young Entrepreneurs Club. We have over 100 and some persons that's a part of that grouping that basically get together and connect with each other, talk about businesses, see how we can help one another, sharing, think tank based like that. So you have the access again through that group to be able to share. The second thing is with that being there, one of the things we encourage, and my personal philosophy is I want to be in charge of my own destiny. So we want you to be owners of your destiny and not just people that's working for someone. Once you become owners of your destiny, then you become more productive and you're able to contribute more. And then you see the value of the corporate and the social commitment in your society.
Okay. So let's go back to this entrepreneur club that you have. These persons all have to be members of the chamber?
No.
Really?
No. young persons interested in starting business.
What's the age bracket, if you don't mind, the demographic?
Basically, young persons, I think I'll go up to about 30, close to 40. I think we have someone up in there close to the 40s. Yeah, but you're just young. When it's not necessarily young in age, but you're young in business.
Young in business.
Young in
Okay.
business.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fair enough,
So
fair
you can
enough.
qualify.
You can
I don't think so.
there.
I'm a veteran. So let me put that on
But
the
I
table.
like that because purpose of saying, okay, I have to join the chamber, but that's great because getting them involved in that club will then expose them to the benefits of the chamber, and it's like a second nature. I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. All right, so let's also talk about then, as the chamber looks at the landscape in Grand Bahama, we have businesses, like you said, in the East and the West. How are you touching them? Because most of our events happen in the city of Freeport. So how are we touching them? How are we assuring them that they have your full support?
One of the things we're looking at doing this year, of course, we've already gotten inquiries from the West Grand Bahama Township for us to come down there and do some seminars and some workshops. We're introducing something called engagement with the general membership, where every person on the island involved in business, interested in business, can come and meet with us. And it's not only going to be in Freeport. We're looking every quarter to go to a different area in Grand Bahama, so that persons in business, interested in business, can talk to those of us on the board. And in addition to that, we can look for persons that we can bring who are successful in business to help share knowledge with them, to help them grow and develop their business. The value proposition must always be out front.
Yeah, we need to know
necessary.
that you're there for us. Now, we like to, do you know we're international? The show is international. Y'all know that, right? I just want to make sure y'all are aware. This is international. This is not just a local show. You know, people are watching us.
Locally grown, internationally seen.
There you go. So you know that. And of course, people tune in because we bring them all of the first-hand information and relevant information. What is something new and exciting on the Chamber's docket that we can share with the public? Aside from the fact that I'm a new first-year director.
What's new on the docket?
What's new and exciting we can expect? Something that we can expect from the Chamber that's going to be different for this season.
Well, one of the things we want to focus more on is promoting local businesses not only to the local community, to the international community.
You came to the right show.
Yeah. So yes. So we connected properly. So that's the first thing, we made the connection. Okay. So and in doing that, we wanted to understand them. They must meet the same level, the international requirements to operate. So the standards need to be improved.
Okay.
The marketing needs to be improved. Everything, quality of service and product needs to be able to withstand in any environment. So that is why for us, our focus this year is basically going to be a lot on training, on educating and developing, because that's important. And one of the things as a personal desire of mine is the corporate and social responsibility. We can't be asking businesses to be corporately responsible in giving back to their community if we don't lead it. I know something that I want to touch on, and I think it affects all of us in the downtown communities, the vagrant situation. We have to find a way to ensure that these persons have a place that they can go to in terms of at night, for safety, security, for meals and stuff like that. That's a long-term goal, but we have to start somewhere. So we have to do what we can to reach out with the various agencies, see how we can get even the psychological and the physical assistance to these persons so they can feel that they are valued and they are worth something, and then they can start developing themselves to be more than just someone that we consider a bum or a vagrant, but they become contributors to our society. And that's how we build our community.
That shows that the Chamber has a humanistic side,
Yes.
not just focus on business.
A heart,
And that's also very important for the public to be aware of, that you're concerned about all of the island, not just the business, but all the persons that make up part of our society. And being downtown is a big deal about that.
Yeah. So let's talk around, because I like what you just said when you started talking more so community. Yes, it impacts the businesses, but of course it is a community issue. How do you think over the years how do you think, or how well do you think the Chamber has done to be able to bring as many issues to the fore as possible and do their very best to be able to help resolve? Not necessarily community, although it could be community related as it comes to the businesses. Because a lot of people know about the Chamber, they don't know as much as they should. And I'm sure that you guys have some success stories or maybe some highlights or things that you can remember that you possibly may be able to share. But what, if you can give me just maybe one example or tell me about something where the Chamber has just done an amazing job and you haven't gotten all of your kudos just yet.
I think let Donna handle this one.
She has the experience, right?
Donna's been
So
a
I
friend
was
of
just
the
going to
chamber
say.
For a
years.
very
Yes,
long time,
yes,
yes,
no.
and they've done a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I think one of the highlights of last year, 2 years ago, my first year on the board, we hosted the Prime Minister to a dinner, Prime Minister Brave Davis to a dinner, and that was like a sold out event, and people were able to come and speak to him, walk up to him and have a conversation with him, and so a lot of people were surprised that we were able to pull it off in such a short time frame that was involved. And then also like this year, when we had the economic summit, persons could not believe that the caliber of an event that the Chamber had put on, and everyone is asking about coming next year, making sure they're on the list. It was a sold out event.
And
also,
top of the year.
Yes,
I know they were looking forward to that.
Exactly, exactly. So those are two of the events that were highlighted, and we're looking forward to the second annual. The summit for this coming year. Next year we're looking forward to that.
You said
Yeah.
annual.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes, yes.
This is on.
Yeah.
This is on
Ongoing.
the calendar. Yeah, this is on
Ongoing.
the calendar.
For sure.
On the
So,
calendar.
for all of the work you do and everything that you pour into these businesses and these small businesses, how does the Chamber help to sustain the effort? And what I mean is, so you have a training session, for example, and we know some of our people, everyone won't be at the same level. Some people are beginners, some people, they're a little bit more savvy. How do you help to sustain the effort? You've provided the training, and now they have to move on to next steps. How does the Chamber keep them supported while they are now practically trying to live out or utilize the tools that you would have given them?
As a tracking mechanism, basically, one of the first things we always look to is our membership listing and see who's still in business. And then from that, we reach out to them and try to see what's going on. What we need to do even more is to be more proactive in that area in terms of not just having persons become a member of the Chamber and you're there, but we need to actually go to you, starting with the survey that we're going to do. That's not going to be just a one-time thing. These surveys are going to continue to be more developed and more intense in finding out exactly to the different genres and stuff like that, what's needed to help you grow, to stay in business, and what's needed to help bring things along. So our help desk is going to have to expand. And our help desk means that we're going to need more volunteers. And since through our committees, we're going to be asking people to become more actively involved with the Chamber as participants to help grow this economy. So that's one of the things we're reaching out now. We have a lot of help through some sponsors and some major sponsors whose names we will not call and put on live. I'm just going to look at the name and then
So we know the number one sponsor.
so we're going to ask other persons to get involved. The Downtown Business Association has been working with us for years now. So we're going to continue to work through the various arms that we have to get more persons involved in helping to see that we're going to be our brother's keeper. I don't want to start preaching, but we're going to be our brother's keeper. Okay?
And I think also to add now, the Small Business Development Committee is also going to be doing, and you'll appreciate this, a signature event, and it's going to be by Bahamian Day to promote visibility and sales. So that's something that's going to be big that we're going to be working on, telling people where to go, what's available, and that type of thing,
I
and
like
to know
that.
it's
That should be a
available and it's here.
national day.
Yes.
Buy Bahamian.
Yes.
So
Buy local,
yeah,
Shop
buy
it
local.
on.
invest in this economy
Yes.
by supporting local businesses.
And that will, of
Yeah.
course, increase the directory listing that we have so persons will know who's doing what, where they're at.
So I like what you started to say when you said you wanted people in the community to get involved. So I don't actually have to be a director to get involved with the chamber.
Oh, you can just join any committee, request to join any of the
committee.
committee that's
And I think
available.
that's something that we need to let the public know, because people think the chamber is this elite organization.
They do.
And you've got to
They
be
do.
someone in a high position, a president or a VP of an organization in order to get in there. But I like that you're coming to the public and you're saying, no, we are open for you. So anyone can come. You don't actually have to be a direct member of the chamber yet. But you also, you don't have to be a director on the executive board. You can be just a business owner or someone in the community that wants to help and promote and support the chamber, which is supporting the business community in Grand Bahama.
Right.
Yeah, committees are basically headed by members of the board, but persons who work on the committee do not have to be board members. They're just persons in the business community. And one of the things we try to look for in terms of these committees is persons who have expertise in certain areas. One of the things I always looked at when I joined the chamber was diversity of business. I always looked and see persons that I voted for. I will make sure there's always a different type of business represented, and I always wanted to make sure there was an 8 to 7 complement to women.
Did you vote for me? Did you vote for me?
But the thing is, Alex, the strange thing this year is we have 5 men and 10 women, so it's 2 to 1.
Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one.
Another thing that we plan to do also this year is to promote our members more. So during our membership luncheons, give them spotlight, give them 3 minutes, 2 minutes to talk about their business, any promotions that's going on. So that type of thing to highlight them
You can promote
and
now.
promote them.
And but then also, not only do you have to wait for the monthly luncheons, our social media pages will be promoting our businesses even more. And that way the persons who are starting out, they can get notice.
So let's talk about the voice of the chamber,
Wait, hold on.
right?
Donna was promoting me just now. The Signature Choices has been in the community for 26 years.
We don't need Donna to promote you. You just promote
I
yourself.
just, she was just telling people how wonderful the store is. It's located number 517 Central downtown in the heart of Freeport.
Shameless plug.
Shameless. Been a member of the chamber ever since.
Okay.
26 years.
Let's talk about the voice of the chamber. From the perspective of your presidency, what can chamber members and SMEs here on Grand Bahama expect coming from you as issues may arise?
Issues that may arise, basically what I envision happening is always vetted with the entire board. Every board member will be given an opportunity to present their view. It's collected and then collated, and then we present a response to the general public, whether it's the news media or direct our membership, because we want to be, one, knowing what's really happening in the community and how do we address those issues. 2, are we promoting the wellness of the business community and the persons? And I will always say this. 3, we're going to always stay apolitical, unbiased. So there are going to be days when even our biggest sponsor might have to hear a not so good word from us.
So I was about to ask, how are we assured that you will not be politically swayed in any way?
How can you be assured?
Yes.
The best way I can assure you is, I always tell persons this: record everything I do, so you can always use it against me. But basically, I have no, how do I say, I have no bag for any particular party.
Okay.
I have no bag for the government, for the port. I was elected by the business community to represent them.
So you were represented on the front. What's right is right,
And what's wrong
and what's wrong is wrong.
And even if you come to me and you're wrong, I will tell you you're wrong.
Okay.
You got the right president.
Well, I can appreciate the fairness, right? I can appreciate the fairness, and sometimes it's good to just have someone to call a spade a spade. And so let's move along with that. We have to wrap up in just a few minutes, but I want to get some last minute thoughts from you guys. I'm sure there may be some things that we haven't asked you about that you might have wanted to share, or some things you had in mind. Miss Lang Jones, Miss Lang Jones. It's the long names for me now. I'm trying to remember. Miss Donna. Any further thoughts? Anything else that you would want to share? On behalf of the chamber, things that you may want the community or the public to know.
Okay, so on behalf of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, and I'm putting in a plug for the fundraising committee, please support every event that you can afford to attend with us, join us. And then also I would like to encourage each and every Bahamian over the age of 18 to register and vote. It's your right. It's your right and it's your choice.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. My thing is, the Chamber's office is there. Reach out to us, and so that we can hear from you, and then we can address your concerns and issues.
You have to tell them where the chamber office is.
Okay. The Chamber office is located right on the Mall Drive, and for those who like buildings to find where you're located, the RAND is to the north, and the library is to the south, and the Chamber is that beautiful building in the middle there that has the AmCham and the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. We also host the American Chamber of Commerce in our office. But it's right on the Mall Drive. You can't miss it. Downtown.
Downtown.
Alex thinks everything is
Yes.
done. Or should be.
But anything, any last words, anything like I said you might have had about you want to share with the chamber that, want to make sure you get it all out here on our table.
Well, my thing basically is I want to express our appreciation for all those who have served and worked with the Chamber over the past years. I ain't say couple of years, because it's been quite a bit of years. Even our recent board, those who've worked hard and basically have built the foundation that we're building on. Those persons who now volunteered to serve at their own expense and cost, even though they're going to be promoting themselves like crazy on the international show. That we could use their talents and their efforts to help promote, build, and grow Grand Bahama and eventually the entire Bahamas.
Of course. All right. I love that. Well, we definitely want to thank both of you for being with us, Mr. President, Madam First Vice President. We look forward to some great things coming from the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. Every time something comes up, we want to hear from you. We want to know what is it that the Chamber is thinking, what's on your mind, and how are you guys going to help where necessary for these SMEs. I think we're all depending on the Chamber.
We are depending on
Yes.
the chamber. Look out, we're getting ready, like Donna said, we're getting ready to host our installation cocktail reception. When we call you, the camera on me, when we call you, purchase these tickets, you better buy at least 5.
Donate.
The table.
Buy a table. Listen, we want to make it.
Donate.
So I think we need to advertise this in a way where these small businesses can feel
Yes.
as if I can come. I can't afford a table and I
can
don't have
afford to
nobody,
come.
but
I
I
can
can
afford
afford to
to
come
come.
on
You
my
can afford
ticket.
to come on your
So
ticket.
I
I
think
cannot
that's the
not afford to
branding.
come.
Right.
You
That
cannot
too.
not
That
afford
too.
to come.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's change that branding just a little bit because we want to be very inclusive, and we want to get everybody
Speak to
around
that
the
camera
table,
right
so
there
that would be good.
and
I'm
tell them
speaking
come.
to the camera that's looking at me. They're looking at me now. So listen, guys, we're so delighted to have had the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce on the show. This is our first time having a real detailed discussion with both the president and the vice president.
lean over
Although
heels on
we've
this
had
side.
that before. But we're happy that this new team now is getting ready to chart the course to do some great things here, not just in the city of Freeport, but in Grand Bahama. So we're very, very excited, and we're watching, and we're supporting, and we're hoping to see some good things. We have so much more coming up for you. We have a wonderful business. It's never been here on the show,
Never.
period. A new business, well, relatively new, but doing some really great things in the community, and we definitely want to see them on the next segment. So we'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Hi, I'm I'm Dr. Janae Lowe, and this is Sunrise Smiles. Welcome. We are located at the Lucayan Shopping Center here in Freeport, Grand Bahama. We offer an array of dental services, and we are reminding you that it is important to see your dental professional every 6 months, whether it be for a cleaning or restorative services. We're here to help. Here at Sunrise Smiles, we can help you out with cleanings, restorations, and much, much more. We see children, adults, and senior patients. You can reach us by our website, our social media handles, as well as phone call.
About the new you, and it's happening at the Sculpture Studio, a beauty and spa on the island of Grand Bahama, downtown Freeport. You can come for non-invasive body transformation treatments, and we're making you feel beautiful inside and out.
Welcome back to Focus Forward. We are having a great day today. We started off having conversations with the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. Alex, I know you felt right at home with all the people around the table.
Having a great day on the best talk show, Focus Forward, in Grand Bahama.
She always keeps me tickled. But of course, in the world, anywhere else in the universe, in the galaxy,
Yes,
okay.
Yes, but we did. I did feel right at home with my new board members.
Yes, yes. And they're definitely looking forward to working very hard to support this community and the SMEs and to bring you guys into the fold. Those of you that are not currently a part of the chamber, you have an opportunity to do so. So make sure that you reach out to them. Follow them on their social media pages as well so that you can be a part of what they have going on. Now, of course, we want to get into our business segment. This is one of the major reasons why we're here, because we love to be able to connect with our local businesses.
Yes.
Persons here across the city of Freeport that are working hard. You may know some of them, you may not. Sometimes they have initiatives, or sometimes they're just pushing a product.
That's right.
Or they're doing some things, or they want you to know what's in their business so that you can come out and support them. So that's the reason why we do this business segment, and I'm always looking forward to this. And I know you like this one too. Although all of the businesses are not downtown, we support all of them just for you, Alex.
I think
just
this
for you.
business downtown.
This one is downtown. Okay.
So, but
Right.
it's for all the licensees
Yes.
of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. We want to promote you. And if you've not been on the show and you want to have an opportunity to promote your business, please give us a call at 350-9000, or you can just drop your business card down to the office. Send us an email. Let us know about your business.
Exactly.
And we want to be able to promote you because it's 100% free.
It's free. It's a benefit to our licensees.
Membership
And so
has
take
its
advantage-
privileges.
Yes, take advantage of it. We've said that twice in the show today. That's some good stuff. But take advantage of the opportunity so that you can be here on the show. And of course, we will share the show as far and wide as we can just to make sure that you get the full benefit of being recognized in your business. And so we want to get into our business segment, and we want to talk with the CEO of Flamingo Lingo, Ms. Hannah Gilbert. She is a dedicated speech therapist, and she is committed to helping individuals find their voice and communicate with confidence. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
She's new. I want to remind you that she's also a female business owner operating in the city of Freeport, but also located to downtown as we celebrate the women who build downtown at the Downtown Freeport Business Association.
Good stuff, good stuff. So let's just put into context, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into business.
Okay, so I'm Hannah Gilbert. I am a certified and licensed speech and language pathologist, and what this means is I work not only with kids but also with adults who struggle with swallowing, who've had a stroke, maybe a TBI, definitely work with lisps, stuttering, but all that good stuff. I graduated from Howard University as well as Elmira College to get my degrees.
Congratulations.
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 It's a big deal.
Yeah. Before I moved home, I worked for a year in Houston to make sure that I can get my certifications. And while I was there, I'm like, it's time to go home. It's time to bring this home because we didn't have anyone. So yeah, outside of that, I love pink.
Pink as in the color?
Yeah, pink is in the
So
color.
you should love me today.
I do. I love that.
Love me today. Let me flip this up to get the pink feelings.
I'm telling you.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
telling you.
But I really just enjoy being able to see the progress and seeing people's faces when they improve or when they're able to eat again and when their kids talk. It's just amazing. I'm a big humanitarian, so I'm happy and humbled to be able to do what I'm doing.
So how long have you been in business?
This year, April 12th, will make 4 years.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
So you're already making an impact in the community. So tell us a little bit about Flamingo Lingo and how things go in terms of your services.
Okay, so Flamingo Lingo started, like I said, April 12th, 2022. And we service, like I said, all individuals. We start with consultations. Consultations are free. It's a free phone call. So basically, you shoot us a WhatsApp message. You'll get a link to schedule a consultation. Then we'll talk about what your concerns are. We'll go ahead and schedule an evaluation if it's necessary. And that evaluation would be held in-house. Then after that, we go into the report. That takes a bit of a time, obviously. Reports are long. I'm very detailed in my report. It's like 9 pages.
Wow.
But I like to cover 3 years worth of progress, so it's worth it. After the evaluation is done, then we go over the report and we'll schedule our sessions.
So
Yeah.
based on what's been happening in the community now and how your business is growing, tell us a little bit about some of the trends when your patients, if I may call them that, or your clients come to you. What are some of the more repeated type of customers that you would normally have based on what's happening here in Grand Bahama?
That's a really good question. So the first one is definitely kids with speech delay. A lot of times that goes hand in hand with autism. So honestly, one of the main questions that I ask is how much screen time is your child getting? So yeah, definitely speech delays, kids with autism, as well as patients who've had strokes, and more recently TBIs. So traumatic brain injuries.
I could ask you to break that down for me. I need to
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear about what you're doing because my first thought was, we don't think about these things. We don't think about the needs. But you thought about that need before you went off to university. Is this something that you thought that you wanted to do, or that was developed while you were in university?
Yeah, sure. It actually started in the 11th grade for me. I've always been like a real soft, tender heart for people who don't communicate the same way that we did. You know, a lot of times people look at them and they're like, you're retarded, or, you know, like, and it's like, you don't know what that person went through. And, you know, ultimately, like you said, it could always happen to any of us at any point. So I just had compassion for that. And I'm like, I know I want to help our community in some way, but I don't want to do it the way that everybody else is doing it. So my aunt told me about speech therapy, and also I have my baby sister. When she was born, our doctor said that it's a possibility she could have a lisp and her tongue needed to be clipped, and she may need a speech therapist. So that's when I'm like, okay, I need to look into the speech therapy job because we don't have anyone here. And that was when I was in the 11th grade, so probably like 2010. And from there, I looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, this is a job for me. And I went over to school, and it just worked. Like, you know, it goes hand in hand with psychology as well. And I'm just big on like human emotion and understanding humans for like who they are. And
I think you're just an ideal person. She just comes off so
So
compassionate.
genuine
and
and
patient. And I can tell you,
and passionate.
I grew up with a stutter. My mother was not as compassionate as you. So she wasn't as patient as you. But it was frustrating.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, parents don't know that there's help for that. It's just, you know, you usually just take your time and talk or talk properly, but you need help. You need assistance. You don't realize why that is. And then once aggression gets in there, you're then even more stutter. I mean, I look at myself sometimes and I can't believe that I still speak very well. And I'm so thankful that you decided to come home.
Yeah.
You know, and not just home to the Bahamas, but you came back to Freeport, Grand Bahama. So thank you for that, not just because she was downtown.
Right. Yeah.
Because sometimes people think they want to come in, they want to go to the city of Nassau, there's more people, they make more money, but you came in and you did it. Now, how do people know, like you said, how would I know if my child needs assistance, or not just like you said, you're rushing to talk, you know?
Right.
You know, how do we know that?
Usually by the age of 2, you can tell, like, if they're not saying many things, like by age 2, they should at least be putting 2 words together. You know, sometimes parents are like, my child is just a late talker, but the biggest thing for me is early intervention. You don't want to wait until it's too late. It's better to like nip it in the bud right then and there before it becomes worse, or becomes more delayed, I should say. But yeah, definitely parents are like, yeah, my child is 2 or 3 and they're not talking, or they're pulling me for things, they're pointing, they're having a lot of meltdowns because they don't know what they want to say. So usually at that point I'm like, yeah, you notice the difference, because you can see, you look at other kids and you see that they're talking like a lot. Like some kids are a little bit more advanced, but then definitely, it's mostly like my child isn't saying anything at all. She's pulling me, or he's pulling me, and he's pointing, but he doesn't want to tell me what it is that he wants. So that's when they know.
These kids would be in school. So question then, are you connected with the schools? Do they know to, if a teacher notices something, or they can refer you to, the teachers can refer the parents to you, do you also go into the schools as well to express what services you have to offer?
Yes, actually, I have quite a few referrals from many different schools. They usually send their kids over to me. I work hand in hand with Hampton Academy. I go into that school specifically. I am trying to get in contact with more schools, so that's definitely on my radar. I've spoken to quite a few schools already. So we're making some things happen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Now, what would you say might be some of the challenges you've experienced just over the last 4 years, just getting your business going? I know on day one, when you open the door, everybody expects for everyone to come rushing in, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. So what are some of the challenges you've experienced, and how have you overcome them, or how did they settle out over the years?
Oh. I've had a lot of challenges, so I'm like, I don't know. I'd say one of the biggest challenges is probably finding persons with the same amount of compassion or passion for what I do to assist with the process.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. Other than that, I mean, everything kind of works out pretty well. I'd say another one is probably a little bit of denial with
your patients?
Yeah, with what's going on with their child. So like having to get over that denial and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with needing help. I think that sometimes people think that just because, this is going on, it makes them feel kind of stuck. Okay. It's hard to understand. It's a very in-depth kind of field.
Right.
But yeah.
So you want people to know that there is help.
There is help.
And even though the child is not talking, that doesn't mean he or she has to remain that way.
Right.
Because our society doesn't look at some of these challenges as something that can be cured.
It's taboo.
Right. You don't want to talk about it. If your child is not talking, what did you do?
Yeah.
And now we're saying that's not something to stop on. This can be helped.
Right. I think perhaps maybe one of the challenges, which will bring me to my next question, is some parents probably may think, I obviously have to take my child to someone privately, and that may be a cost that I may not be able to fund. So what does it, and not any significant detail, but how does your business help the average person who may need some help to get the help that they need through you?
Well, most recently I got, and that's a really good question too. I think that's one of the challenges as well, one of the major challenges actually. But I just recently got into collaboration with social services to assist parents with being able to afford the services. I'm also working on other things that I won't disclose right now, but there are some things underway, but definitely social services have been trying their utmost best to be able to assist those persons.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And especially if you have insurance, Colina specifically is really, really good with supporting their clients who need speech therapy services.
Okay.
Well, that's wonderful, because that's the same thing I thought I was going to ask you, do you accept insurance? So that's also a plus as well.
And CG Atlantic.
And CG Atlantic. Okay, so kudos to those insurance companies that are definitely allowing their clients to be able to use it for those purposes. But I think what it shows is that they recognize that this is a needed service.
Absolutely.
In the community. And it's something that we need to, I want to shout it out to the whole world.
Yeah.
That there is help. There's no reason to feel any type, like you touched on it, some parents feel some type of way. What if I can't afford it? Do I need to bring my child there? Because sometimes there's stigma attached to not being able to. But let me go back to those who would have had a stroke or have some kind of issue. Have you had any, most times that's with adults, have you had any challenges with them when they come in?
I think the biggest challenge was probably persons who have swallowing disorders. Because that's just like, it's the main, like, who doesn't want to eat, right? Like, they go from being able to eat to not being able to eat. But I can't say that there's been a challenge that I haven't been able to overcome with them. So I guess it's kind of why it's hard for me to even speak on challenges.
Okay.
It's there, but then we work through it
work
together.
through it.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you feel, now that you're in your profession and you're working, do you wake up the morning and feel that I'm doing this?
Yeah.
I'm excited to get up and go. And as a female business owner, doing what you love and what you want to do, what advice would you give another business owner, not just female, but just another business owner who's thinking of something that's different, that's probably not here, that maybe a topic people may not want to talk about, so they may think, why are they going to support my business?
Yeah.
What would you say to that person that's considering that?
I think it's important to know that there's always going to be challenges. There are days where all of us feel burned out and like, maybe I'm not right for this, but it's just that voice in your head that wants to stop you from what you are passionate about, what you should be doing. And I don't think you should let that voice get to you. But definitely be prepared. It's a roller coaster, but it's an exciting roller coaster. I like roller coasters.
Roller coasters, you like roller coasters. All right, so I know we have to wrap up real quick, but just tell us once again, what are the services that you offer and who can come to you?
Okay.
And where can they find you?
Perfect. So I offer consultations again. It's a free 10-minute phone call, as well as evaluations and therapy. I also have resources for special order, anything that persons may need for their family members to help them communicate. I am located at 17 Plaza, opposite the post office, right next door to the walk-in clinic. You can find me on WhatsApp via 242-817-7915, as well as Instagram, Flamingo Lingo BHS, and Flamingo Lingo on Facebook.
Okay, wonderful. Well, definitely we want to encourage you, Grand Bahama, make sure that you are supporting Flamingo Lingo. If you know that there's someone that may need some help, they may not know where to go, they may not understand what's really happening, give them a referral and make sure that you get them there. Give them the information that they need so that they can possibly get the help that they need. We're so happy to have had you here today. Thank you so much. And of course, the invitation remains open as you start to put in those new ideas that you didn't want to discuss today, because we need to have an unveiling later.
Yes.
We definitely want you to come back to the show so that we can talk about those things. So thank you. Listen, guys, don't forget, Art Lucaya is coming up. You need to mark your calendars. It's going to be on April 17th. We had a wonderful long weekend. Yes.
Channeling my inner Art Lucaya
last
too.
week. And Freeport Fashion Week taking the weekend by storm. And of course, now we're looking at Art Lucaya coming up shortly. So you want to be a part of that Freeport Fashion Week supported to be able to do the donation to the schools that want to have sewing classes and want to create some of these designers, these new designers in our community. And Art Lucaya is all for the artists and the creatives that want to be in that space as well. It's going to be happening at Mosaic on East Sunrise Highway.
The home of art.
Yes. And of course, just make sure follow the social media channels for Invest Grand Bahama, Art Lucaya, so that you can know exactly where you can get your tickets, so that you can come out and support our Grand Bahama Artists Association and independent artists. Alex, we want to thank our sponsors and great show today.
Invest Grand Bahama, Grand Port Authority, Looking Fabulous, Visible Changes, Untangled, Kishana K Beauty,
everybody.
And whoever else, all the glam squad. If we missed you, that's not my fault, it's her fault. And I just want to remind you, tune in to Zedness. You can watch us. We're on the radio. Listen, go to the Facebook page, go to the website, and find out where we are so that you can watch the show.
Get the full schedule for sure.
Exactly.
But I had a wonderful time today. Learned a whole lot. And looking forward to the next show.
I'm going to be going everywhere and talking about Flamingo Lingo even more.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I think it's worth it. Thank you for inviting us into your offices, your businesses, and your homes. Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show is always here for you. And until next time, I'm Glenda Sweeting.
And I'm Alex Thompson.
Informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus
forward.
You've You've been listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated. And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday,
Same time,
same place,
for Focus Forward.